Hello, John.
Hello, Brian. Now, I'm going to be talking about the Sisters of Charity and the Sisters of Mercy and those nuns that provided the hospitals. The matter of fact, that started the hospitals, including children's hospitals. The first one was in Ulton Terrace in Ranelagh, started by sisters and ones that were strong Catholics and that looked after children that had TB and things like that. They did great work. And as a matter of fact, those nuns and sisters knew that there was a cure for TB 20 years before the government in this country implemented what they had suggested, because it was already being cured in France and the continent, and the solution to the cure was there, but the medical profession didn't follow what they had suggested for 20 years. So many people died from TB. There was a fatal disease in this country, even in my time. This is what they did. And the Sisters of Charity ran St. Vincent's Hospital when it was in Stephen's Green. I had a brother that had an operation there for goiter. And I also had a brother, Lord of mercy, and he died when he was young. He had heart trouble, leukemia perhaps it was, and he was in Temple Street. And there was nuns that was there too, and he was very well looked after, and he was quite happy whenever we visited him. So both of those brothers have passed on, one at 13. But they were well looked after by the nuns. So that was St. Vincent's Hospital, St. Stephen's Green, and then they moved to a more modern hospital out in Ball's Bridge and ran it very successfully. Then with lay people have obviously becoming more common, because when we got our freedom in this country, if it wasn't for the Sisters of Mercy and the various other sisters, Presentation Sisters and Marist Sisters and Christian Brothers and Presentation Brothers and all that, there wouldn't have been any education available, because our education had been neglected by the people that ran the country until we got our freedom in 1921 or whatever, 1922. We had a civil war, but be that as it may, it was Christian Brothers and nuns that actually provided education. They're getting scant thanks for it now, but if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have been educated. And I was educated by them, by nuns, and then by Christian Brothers and Presentation Brothers, and sometimes priests. So they did great work. The Sisters of Charity was founded by Mary Aikenhead, a founder, and the St. Vincent's Hospital, and they also started to help the poor, particularly, and the poor, and they're getting very scant credit for that now. And the Sisters of Mercy ran the Mater Hospital in Dublin, and I think in the north, but called the Mater Misericordia, and did a good job. And many people were treated there, treated successfully. And it was a hospital that was very well run, and there was no such thing as any diseases that you could pick up, like MRSA, which we don't hear too much of now, but was a more fatal disease that was picked up when you went into hospital for one thing, and you come out picking up something else. Now, and since it become under more secular management, and now the Sisters of Charity in St. Vincent's Hospital in Ball's Bridge, now they've conceded without costing, without charging to the state, who now want to transfer the maternity hospital in Holles Street, where I was born and christened and all the rest of it, or baptised, no, born, christened, born there. and in Hollis Street, and many another one was. And we were all baptised. I was baptised in St Andrew's Church, which was nearby, but not on the time I was born, a few days afterwards. And though one or two people that I knew worked with, they were born there too, and I reckon that some of these sisters brought us in baskets down to be baptised in St Andrew's Church in Westland Row. But I think it didn't happen to me, so the next time I see them, I'll be commenting about that. You would have been brought down in a basket, but I wasn't. So this is the sense. So they did great work, and now unfortunately they're being criticised in many fronts because the sort of, what would they call it, the secular government that we're saddled with, and they don't respect the past in the way that they should, and the good that all these people with this sort of a vocation did in the country. So they do deserve more respect than they're receiving. So John Malone and the Christian TV Ireland project, which we hope to come to fruition in due course with donations from those people, and that the Holy Spirit is in and they want to see something to try and counteract the anti-Catholic and anti-Christian bias that comes from the media about TV, radio and print, and stand up for what's considered was the bedrock of this country, and in tough penal times. So we want to pay respect and gratitude to the Sisters of Mercy, the Sisters of Charity, and the Presentation Sisters, and all the sisters. The Presentation Sisters were founded by Nan O'Neill, and she's blessed now, I think. And so all these sisters did marvellous work, and they should be respected and not pilloried. John Malone and the Christian TV Ireland project respects these sisters and thanks them sincerely for the marvellous work that they have done in this country for over 150 years, when they provided shelter for the abandoned. Let's not forget that, and let's not fall down the trap of the secular world and what they're at. Truth is a foreign concept to them at times. So these are the people that we want to respect, and the good that they did, not alone the nuns, but the priests and all the rest of it. During penal times, their lives in danger, £10 on their head, which was substantial money in the 1800s, the 1700s, with the church persecuted for hundreds of years and not allowed it to be educated. Head schools, we don't hear much about that, but our ancestors had to be taught in head schools because they weren't allowed to be educated unless they turned out to be Protestants, and even then the education wouldn't have been great. So these are the debts of gratitude we owe these people, and John Malone is paying the respect to them now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John.